What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a holiday classic. Now, I don't know if you guys call this stuffing or dressing, but I do know that this recipe is an absolute crowd pleaser. Before we get right into it, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that bell and enable notifications as well. Alright, enough running my mouth, time to make it happen. We're going to start by making homemade stock. Basically, we're going to throw in some smoked turkey legs and some vegetables, including carrots, celery, and onions. And then we're going in with 2 quarts of chicken broth. What we're trying to accomplish here is creating as much flavor as possible in this broth. You can add in whatever veggies you might have in the fridge. A little garlic would be great. Throwing in some bay leaves here. 2 tablespoons of better than bouillon chicken base. I highly recommend making your own stock for everything during Thanksgiving. The morning of, I just make a huge pot of stock and I use it for my collard greens, for my stuffing. Really, whatever you need chicken stock for, this is the way to go. Once you've rendered all of the delicious flavor out of everything that's in the pot, you're going to strain it and set aside the stock for later. You're going to need 4 cups total. Now we're going to dice up our vegetables, starting with 2 stalks of celery. Just give it a nice rough chop. You do want to dice them up relatively fine though. Try to keep the celery and the onions about the same size. And as always, guys, the specific measurements and ingredients are provided for you in the description box below. I'm using some sage for this recipe as well. So we're rolling up about 3 leaves of sage. Give that a nice chop as well. You could add rosemary or thyme if you like here also. Really, whatever herbs and spices that you like go perfectly with this stuffing. We're also going to dice up 1 yellow onion. Try to make it about the same size as that celery. That way it cooks the same. Looking good. Now we're going in our Dutch oven with about 1 stick of butter. I'm using Kerrygold grass-fed butter here. It's a little bit healthier for you and it's super delicious. We're also going to add in 2 pounds of Jimmy Dean sausage. You can use the breakfast blend, the sage blend, or the natural blend. Either of those 3 work perfectly fine. And at this point, you just want to get some nice browning on your sausage. So allow the butter to kind of do its thing there. Once you start to see that it's no longer pink, we're going to add in our vegetables and the sage, along with a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley as well. Just to add a bit of freshness to the recipe. Mix everything until it's well combined. Your house is smelling like Thanksgiving right now. We're adding in 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. This recipe is absolutely packed with flavor. I can't wait for you guys to try it. Adding in a dash of thyme here. You can use fresh thyme if you like. Dried thyme works perfectly fine as well. 1 tablespoon of better than bouillon chicken base. Turkey base would work here also, or the vegetable base, whatever you can find at the store. Give that a nice mix. Allow those flavors to come together and marry or date. I don't want to lock you guys into a long-term relationship. Now we're adding in 2 cups of our chicken stock, reserving the other 2 for a little bit later. And now we're going in with our bread. I'm using half cornbread and half herb seasoned white bread. Really doesn't matter here. You can use whatever you like. You can also make your own breadcrumbs, but I find that Pepperidge Farms makes a pretty good product, so that's what I chose to use today. I have a cornbread recipe that's perfect for this also. If you want to make that the night before and use that in place of this Pepperidge Farms cornbread, that would work great. So a half and half blend, about 2 pounds total. And again, the specific measurements and ingredients are provided for you in the description box below. It's going to look like it's too many breadcrumbs at the beginning, but once they start to absorb all of that delicious stock, it'll start taking shape for you. Adding in another handful or so of our breadcrumbs, or bread cubes, I probably should say. I also keep calling this stuffing, and technically it's dressing because stuffing goes inside of the turkey and dressing goes on the side. So let me know what you guys call it in the comments. Adding in the last bit of our stock that we made. And then you want to taste it at this point and kind of adjust the seasoning as needed. Always taste your food before adding eggs, which we're gonna add here in just a few moments. But taste for seasoning here and adjust if you see fit. Little salt, little pepper, garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, anything like that will go great in here. Once the seasoning is perfect, we're gonna add in those eggs and just fold those into our mixture. This stuffing is super moist, packed with flavor from that stock that we made. The sausage is a nice touch as well. If you're not into pork, you can always use a turkey or a chicken substitute. Next, we're gonna preheat our oven to 350 degrees and butter a casserole dish. If you're not into doing dishes, feel free to use a foil pan here. And then fill it up with our stuffing. This is enough for probably 10 to 12 servings of stuffing. So if you're having a nice Thanksgiving dinner this year, you can make this and feel confident that you can feed a pretty large party. Looking good. And then we're gonna bake this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes until the internal temperature is about 160 degrees. Oh man, this is gonna be good. That's how we're looking after it comes out of the oven. You do want to let it cool for about 20 minutes before you cut into it. Otherwise, you'll burn your mouth like I do every episode. Brace yourself for a trademark money shot. This time I'm scooping from the edges because you guys seem to get mad at me when I scoop from the middle. Oh man, look at the steam shot. You can see how moist it is. So much flavor packed in there. You know I gotta try it. Moment of truth. Oh man, this one's good, guys. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me know what you think of the recipe. Remember to give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you for your support.